I think opera is more about preservation, maybe than relevance, and that doesn't mean it's not relevant, but if the focus is preserving what is and repeating the status quo, repeating the same tradition, of course it will be always relevant for a certain group, but it will be harder to make it relevant for a new audience. Yes, yes. There's only one answer. Absolutely. It's a racist and sexist and very problematic opera. But of course, if you look at it in the context of the time in which Mozart lived, that were the times. So I'm not sure Mozart would consider himself to be racist and sexist. He was a man of his time, and that was the general view. That's how he was raised. That was completely normal to speak, act, and think that way. It was, yeah, definitely the height of colonization, of slavery, and of course of misogyny. So he was a man of his time, a young, modern man of his time. But looking at it now, from our perspective, from my perspective, and living in these times, there's no other answer but yes. That's such an interesting and amazing question, because that has so many layers, that question, because if you look at art, and if we look at high art, we have such respect, of course, understandably, for what was written in the classic times. That is the foundation of Western society. But what we usually forget if we look at that, high-end foundation of Western society is the shadow side of Western society, because all of that foundation was built on a very dark page of our history, which is colonization and slavery and trading human beings as cattle, selling them, raping them, not allowing them to be human, even to have families, to speak their own language, to bring their own culture to the table, to put them to work in other places of the world so that Western society could thrive and high art could be made. If you look at Dutch painters, even the materials they used were not even possible to use if it wasn't for colonization. So for me as an artist, the only answer I can give is, yes, we can go far. And I'm willing to go very far and take the risk, because I think art is about risk. When Mozart wrote the Zauberflöte, he took enormous risks, because he had new concepts. If you look at the Freemasons, even musically using the trombones, everything he made was risky. So yeah, what can I not do? If I want to work in his tradition, I also have to take risks. But my risks are different than his risks. And I think that is what artistry is about. Your own risks, with respect for the material, but taking risks.